back with another Division video. It's Friday, it's time for the vendor from place to place, easy checkpoint to checkpoint to find out what the best items are for sale this week in the Division. So if the video is helpful in any way, shape, or form, please drop it a like. It's much appreciated and it does help the channel grow. And if you are new to the channel, hopefully you'll consider subscribing for more Division content, as they do put these out every single Friday. Now, we are downstairs here in the hub, and whatever 2 weapons are for sale, I own them. So if you own them on one character, they go across all of them, just for those of you that didn't know that. Double check this guy, but this is the only place you will ever have to double check. Actually, sorry, that and Camp Clinton, because there's blueprints at each location. Alright. Our exotics for the week. The Pecan has 19% damage to targets out of cover with Skilled, Dominant, and Pecan. If you want to pick it up for a skill build, go ahead. I would actually reroll Dominant for something else and keep Skilled. Centurion has Expert and Brutal on it. That's actually not too bad if you do want the Free Republic talent with the Liberator. Cassidy has 290% stagger with Meticulous, Talented, and Boomstick, so I would pass. The Liberator, 19% enemy armor damage with Responsive, Talented, and Focused. I would absolutely pass on that. Historian has 169% headshot damage with Ferocious, Accurate, and History Repeats. Now, if you're a fan of the weapon, I would get rid of Accurate for something else and, you know, keep Ferocious, make use out of this in PvE. It's an extremely fun weapon to use, so if you're just coming back to the game and you don't have one of these, I would grab one, and honestly, they're quite enjoyable. Now, here's the rest of the gear. I know a lot of people are curious. This is a pretty good Super 90, 312% stagger with Responsive, Brutal, and Trained. Trained's in the free slot, so I would get rid of it and reroll whatever talent you wish. But for the most part, because we've got classified gear, I know a lot of people don't particularly care about this stuff, but I will show it to the people that do care. RPK, Unforgiving, Destructive, Meticulous. You can get rid of Meticulous for something else if you're a fan of the RPK, and you want to run it with something like LoneStar, but personally, I would use the MG5, the Big Alejandro if you have it, anything of that sort. Not too bad of a rapid chest plate. So this stuff here, I always write as gear in the description, unless it stands it like these Tactician Pads. 1264 electronics, over 14,000 health, increased kill XP. I would rather get rid of that for something else, but it's got bleed resist and disrupt resist. The next global event will have Tactician in it, so only pick those up if you do need to finish off a build. Other than that, this is what we have downstairs. Not terrible regular defense gloves for PvE, that's for sure, or you could reroll the health on kill for something else to try to make use out of them in PvP if you don't have the classified versions. And we got a 4% sticky bomb damage mod. Go ahead and grab some of those because the one-shot sticky builds are back and in full effect. Other than that, that's everything downstairs, so now we're going to move on. Upstairs at the armory, we've got a couple of items here. First up, there's an MP5 ST, so if you're missing the house and you want a good PvE SMG, I would take a look at this one here. 19% crit hit chance, a bit on the low side, but you can optimize it. Ferocious, Unforgiving, and then Talented is in the free slot. Get rid of that for something else, and you can definitely still stride people, NPCs in PvE. And then if you scroll all the way down, we've got a mini rugged mini reflex sight. 7.5% crit hit chance, 4% crit hit damage, and 6% headshot damage. I would grab a bunch of these, throw them on your MDRs, your SMGs, the Big Alejandro, whatever it is you have. Unless you already have a better one, grab a few of those. Okay, at the gear vendor here at the base of ops, for those of you that are again looking for damage to elites mods, we've got one here. It's electronics 188, and we've got 3% damage to elites. So if you're looking for them, they're here at the base. Grab as many as you need. Alright, down at Camp Hudson, both vendors have something for sale. First up here at the gear vendor, we have once again another damage to elites mod, but this time it is spec'd into firearms, 188 firearms, and damage to elites. So you've got your choice between this one and the one at the base of operations, or both if you want both. Over at the weapons vendor here, he's got a really good custom M870, 338% stagger with deadly, brutal, and adept. Leave it as is or reroll adept if you want to, because it's in the free slot for something else like ferocious, and have yourself a monster of a shotgun. Either way, the choice is yours. Alright, up at Camp Clinton now. Here at the Blueprints vendor, I believe there's an M60 for sale and there's a military M9. Other than that, I own the Blueprints, so you will have to double check that vendor. And then once again, we've got the same exotics but with different talents up here as we do, same down at the hub. The Liberator's got Determined, Accurate, and Adept on it. I know some people are a fan of Determined and Adept, so you could reroll Accurate for something else if you really wanted to. The Pecan's got Talented and Competent on it, so you could reroll Talented if you wanted to for something else. Got 22% enemy damage targets out of cover. And then as we scroll through the line of this stuff, there's nothing too great, but if you're new to the game, you don't have classified gear, there's a few pieces that you just might be interested in. We've got a rapid chestplate here, 1207 firearms, which you could bump up over 15,000 health, 6% enemy armor damage, 55% ammo capacity in the minor, and then we've got a FireCrest vest, 1221 stamina with 9% skill haste, over 16,000 health, increased skill XP in the minor. Get rid of that for, I'm just going to say ammo capacity because I hate running out of ammo. And you've got yourself a good FireCrest vest. And same thing again for the DeadEye. You know, if you're a fan of DeadEye, you don't have classified, pick this thing up. 1262 stamina, over 15,000 health, skill haste, increased skill XP in the minor. Again, do what you wish with the minor attribute. Either way, the rest of it is all good. And then just so you guys can get a quick glance at what else is here. Some people might want the defense backpack if they don't want the classified, because you got 1248 firearms, crit damage as a major attribute, burn resistance in the minor, which you can keep or reroll. Once again, the choice is completely up to you. And you know, this is just the rest of the stuff that we have up here. Even the LoneStar gloves, if you really wanted to bump up the firearms number or compensate for it and reroll health on kill for crit damage, you could and use them until you get the classified versions. But keep in mind, classified stuff does drop in the open world, the underground. This stuff drops absolutely everywhere. It's just a matter of getting lucky. But if you want to fill in your build until then, go ahead and pick these things up. Over at the Firewall Safe House, for those of you that are still a fan of Savage Gloves, we've got a pretty good pair here with 10% assault rifle damage, 5% health on kill, 15% crit damage. Leave them as is for PvE, or get rid of the health on kill, throw on a crit chance, and use them in PvP. Okay, down at the Ward Safe House, my god, this is the week for those of you that want damage to elites. We've got an even better mod here, 193 firearms instead of the 188 at Camp Hudson, and 4% damage to elites. So if you want the one for firearms, pick this one up and leave the one at Camp Hudson behind. Okay, at the... Do not tell me what to do, good sir. Alright, at East 34th Street, we are now making our way into the dark zone. That's everything that was for sale in the light zone that was worth taking a look at. We've got a prototype stamina mod for sale here, 257 stamina with just under 3,000 skill power. So unless you already have the blueprint or some better ones, I would go ahead and pick a few of these up for now until you do get some better ones. Okay, and one more stop up at the East 40th Street DZ checkpoint. She's got a Model 700 Carbon with 161% headshot damage, Adept, Vicious, and Elevator on it. So you could leave it as is or reroll any of the talents for something else. Either way, it's kind of a good setup, and I know a lot of people are a fan of Vicious right now because of Classified Nomad. So I thought I would point this out. Pick it up if you want to.
I'll be waiting when you're ready to deal.
Sounds good. Alright, up at the East 53rd Street DZ checkpoint, she's got one item for sale, which is this prototype performance mod, 7.5% support station range. Anybody running builds like Reclaimer, I would absolutely grab a few of these and throw them on your character. Alright, and for the final stop of the week, up at the DZ08 safe room, sadly that was it this week. Actually, you know what, it wasn't that bad of a week in my opinion. You know that? For those of you that don't have the declassified versions of the striker gear. We've got a mask here, 1232 stamina, 7.5% enemy armor damage, and burn resist in the minor. There's a LoneStar vest here with 1151 stamina. I know that that's low, but you can either reroll that if you like the vest as is, or compensate with mods, etc. in the rest of your build. And you've got enemy armor damage, which you can reroll for health, or reroll skill haste for health and keep the enemy armor damage. The choice is yours. Ammo capacity in the minor slot. And then if we scoot over, sorry lady, I got all this stuff. If you come over to the other vendor and scroll down, we have again savage gloves, 1256 stamina, 8% skill haste, 12% assault rifle damage, 7.5% enemy armor damage. These would be great for anything PvE related if you're not running a classified build and you still like to run those hexo builds, which I know some players still do. So you know what? There you have it, guys. That is everything that was worth taking a look at this week in the division. Whether you're a new player coming back to the game, you just bought the game yesterday and you're level 30 for some reason, or a veteran like myself. So I hope the video was helpful. Drop a like if so. Please leave your comments down below. Again, hopefully you guys will consider subscribing to the channel for more division content. You Afflicted Gamer, and the stream times for me to be live here on YouTube are at the end of the video. Have a great week, agents, and I will see you in the next one.